Sorry, guys, but some of you guys be like, I know black, I know black, I know black. Imposible, I know black. I'm Dominican, I'm Puerto Rican, I know black. Be looking just like me.
Alright, shut up with the stereotypes. It's annoying now. La República Dominicana.
Yeah!
A former colony of Spain turned into the home of plátanos con salami, people who wear tight clothes, presidente, bachata, merengue, dembow, baseball.
Mamá huevo 99.
Pretty much anything you're thinking of about us, we probably adore it so much 9 times out of 10. Not the I know black and Dominican stereotype. It was already clear we let that go after El Alfa dropped that one song. Most Dominican Americans reside in New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and even Florida with the Cubans. But here's the thing. We barely have any representation. Besides the music industry, of course. We're all good over there because of the music genres that I listed before, plus Romeo Santos, Juan Luis Guerra, Prince Royce, all those guys. But movies and games? At best, we're pretty much gag characters in a movie.
Get out of here, baby! Get out of here, baby! Yeah!
Oh, shit.
Other than that, it's just dust. It's mainly, oh, haha, he's a funny little Dominican who plays baseball and speaks Spanish really fast, instead of an actual character. Look, I understand we're pretty much a bit of a small majority compared to other Latino groups like Mexicans, but we shouldn't be known as just some plátano eaters who love dembow and reject our blackness according to almost every American out there. But we have one Dominican character in one of the most popular video game franchises of all time.
Fuck off, Evan.
Luis Lopez from GTA 4 The Ballad of Gay Tony, alongside his mom, Armando Torres y Enrique Bardas. Not just that, we even have a radio station dedicated to bachata, merengue, y reggaeton. Although it's primarily a Puerto Rican station hosted by Daddy Yankee, it went into a full-on Dominican theme, rebranding it with a new name called Santiago Sounds with a new host named Henry Santos, a member of the best boy band of all time, Aventura. Still, considering everything I just mentioned, it was a big win for us Dominicans. Not to mention, it's just a great expansion pack overall. The colorful and joyful theme, the characters of course, Mason at 9 and Bahama Mamas, although you can't enter it anymore after that one shootout.
This place ain't gonna be open for a long time.
The radio stations.
This is Santiago Mix on San Juan Sounds, bringing you a little love from the deep, deep south.
Senti la musica, senti la vibrazione, non può andare meglio di così. Resident DJ Crookers, here we go.
This is Eric with me, DJ Paul, guest mixing on Radio Vladivostok from Bahama Mamas in Algonquin.
It was just so good. Besides Luis's actual personality, which I wish was more fleshed out, he represents the average Dominican. He's outgoing, loves to dance, Dominican-styled sailor mouth.
I'm going to die, and it's all your fault.
Oye, pero tú sí que eres loca.
Well, shit, I guess freakiness applies to him as well. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if those qualities made him turn to the bouncer and nightclub lifestyle. But overall, big shout out to Luis Lopez. There's also Victor Vance from Vice City Stories, his brother Lance from the base Vice City game, and Catalina from GTA 3 and San Andreas. Victor isn't really like Luis in the sense of personality, but he is more like Nico, someone who's ex-military moving to the US to seek a better opportunity, but was forced to be a criminal to escape with his love interest and to support his family. Meanwhile, that same love interest gets killed by those also involved in the crime lifestyle. He got his revenge, but it didn't make him feel any better, and ultimately felt horrible in the end. So yeah, pretty much the same as Nico, except one guy's Dominican and the other Serbian. The way he died was absolute bullshit though, right at the beginning of Vice City.
10s and 20s, used. I think we have a deal, my friend. Oh, shit.
Lance is just Dominican Big Smoke. He rolls with you like a brother and betrays you in the end, selling you out in the name of business.
All right, baby. This is the Lance Vance dance. You got to, all right, pop it and lock it, yeah. Wow.
So this is where the coke is going? Up your nose?
Catalina is an absolute psychopath. The way she treats CJ and Cloud makes Trevor look like a sane guy. Especially what she did to CJ, which was fucking horrid.
I'm gonna torture your sorry ass.
Please, no.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Oh, baby, please, no. Please, baby, no.
I mean, at least Trevor is loyal to his friends. Catalina is a massive snake.
Not only was he racing, but he was satisfying me. Fully. What are you gonna say about that? Sorry, babe. I'm an ambitious girl. You're just small time.
Although the fact that they were all Dominican isn't really apparent unless you actually look into the characters, they still count because they are Dominican. Luis will always remain at the top though, especially with how the Ballad of Gay Tony turned out. But that was 16 years ago. Nothing like that happened since. What happened? Nothing! That was the only huge Dominican representation we got in gaming, so Luis will forever remain at the top of the Dominican Hall of Fame in the gaming industry, because there's nobody else, of course! Over time, it went from praising Luis to just laughing at Phantom since he's Dominican as well. So yeah, that's all we have to offer in terms of representation, I guess. But what if I told you that we might have a chance at getting another huge win and stepping back up? You might be asking, how? And I'll tell you this. Lucia Caminos. GTA 6 is probably our only chance of getting that spotlight like we got with Luis again. I've looked into who the actor could possibly be, and it's rumored to be Manny El Perez. Apparently she's both Dominican and Puerto Rican, but I couldn't find anything directly confirming that. However, she does very well look like both, so it's pretty much blatant anyways. If there's something that I missed that does confirm her nationality, let me know in the comments and I'll pin it. But although the resemblance between her and Lucia is almost completely identical, it's not confirmed whether she really is playing Lucia. So we'll leave that aside for now until the official cast for GTA 6 is actually revealed. And look, I get that she did voice an NPC in GTA 5, but that doesn't automatically prove that Rockstar actually hired her to play the role of Lucia. Don't get it twisted. The thing is, Lucia is from Liberty City, and that state is filled with Dominicans and Boricuas. So one of three things could happen. 1. Lucia is Dominican. 2. Lucia is Puerto Rican. And 3. Lucia, for some odd reason, is Cuban. Also, outcome 1 and 2 is pretty much kinda similar anyways. Dominicans and Puerto Ricans are similar in a lot of ways. We're basically siblings. So either way it's a win, but it'll be a bigger win if Lucia is revealed to be Dominican. Outcome number 3 is obviously very unlikely because there's no sign of any Cubanos in Liberty City. They're all in Vice City, but I'm just saying, who knows? They could do anything with Lucia, not to mention that GTA 6 is the most anticipated game of all time right now. So this is definitely going to be a big win for us if we do get the first outcome. If you ask me though, it shouldn't just be Lucia we have to rely on for Dominican representation in general. There's a good amount of things you can use for a movie or a TV show about Dominican history or just Dominican culture in general. For example, Rafael Trujillo and his role as a dictator in the DR, the Mirabal sisters, the Dominican Civil War in 1965, the Dominican War of Independence, the United States military invading the DR, or even just a Dominican person's life in the US, probably in New York or New Jersey. You can definitely make a movie or TV show about how Trujillo left a mark on the Dominican Republic and Haiti, stuff like the Parsley Massacre, the murder of the Mirabal sisters, and even how Trujillo himself was assassinated. He's still to blame for the whole stereotype that we deny our African roots, especially with his desire to whiten the country, hoping that European men would bring more light-skinned children. Sure, he did make buildings and streets that are still being used to this day, but that doesn't justify the killings of Haitians and other Dominicans simply for their skin color. Not to mention, the Mirabal sisters represent resistance and empowerment against the dictatorship regime, especially with the 14th of June movement. The day of their death also formed the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women as well. I could go on and on about Trujillo, his dictatorship, and the history during that period, but that's a different video at that point. There's enough ideas to go around when it comes to Dominican culture and history on the big screen. Maybe even put your own twist on it if you like, as long as it's not too crazy. If everyone is putting us on the spotlight for comedy, calling us plátano munchers, and widely believing in the stereotype that we're all like, "No, papacito, yo soy dominicano, no negro," then at least give us a chance to make some films or games about what we have to offer in terms of culture and history. Anyways, I'm out for now. Here's hoping we get something good representing us soon, and I'll see you guys in the next video whenever I make one. Nos vemos todo y Dios te bendiga.
Yo. Viejo brother, ¿qué es lo que tú dices? Yo vine a buscar mi grupo a ver quién quiere aprender a cocinar plátano con salami.
Vamos a la vez.